Now, Sonny in Athenry, in the fields of Athenry, wants to talk about the death penalty. Go ahead, Sonny.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm actually in Connemara, not Athenry, but...
You've come up as Athenry, and I was going to break into song. Low lie the fields of Athenry.
The fields of Athenry. It's a beautiful song.
Indeed it is.
I just wanted to congratulate you for being the voice of reason in the face of this emotional and irrational knee-jerk reaction to the violence in our society by calling for the death penalty, which, as you pointed out, would just make us just as bad as
the murderers, yeah.
Worse, actually, because they, as you said, are under some sort of emotional stress or alcohol or drugs, and we would be doing it in a very premeditated way.
Yeah.
In the name of everyone in our society. So I just wanted to congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
I was wrongly convicted and sentenced to death in America, and I spent 17 years before I was exonerated and freed, and I wrote a book about it called Stolen Time.
Wow, that's very interesting. Tell us more.
Thank you. Well, I wrote about it because I wanted people to understand that this can happen and the effects of injustice, which don't just affect the person who's wrongly convicted, it affects their whole family. And my children and even my grandchildren now suffer the effects of what was done to me. And
what was the killing you were wrongly convicted for?
2 policemen were killed, and the man who actually did the killing testified that my husband and I did it instead, because, of course, he wanted to avoid the death penalty.
And was this a political crime or a common or garden crime?
Well, I suppose, I don't know if you'd call it either, but the killing of 2 policemen is about the worst thing that you can be accused of. And so it always becomes political because when it involves officials, and especially officials who see an opportunity to advance their own careers, and since we're all human, we're all subject to those urges, then it does become political. The death penalty in itself is political.
So you were 17 years on death row, were you?
I was actually for 5 of those years sentenced to death, and then the other 12 years I spent in the population of the prison when my sentence was changed from death to life.
Sonny, during those 5 years, did you come to terms at any point with the fact that you were likely to be executed? Did you think you were going to be executed?
Well, it was part of what I wrote about in the book. I kept notes on, even sometimes on toilet tissue, on anything I could get a hold of, because of the possibility that I would be executed, and then there would be nothing left of me. So it felt very important for me to record my thoughts and my feelings. And so I do know, because of my notes, that I did at one point consider that they might. Although if you had asked me, I'd say, no, I never really believed they would. But the truth is that it did concern me, of course.
And what method would they have used if they had killed you?
I would have been executed in the electric chair.
My goodness.
And when I came... and my husband, actually, who was also wrongly accused and convicted with me, he wasn't as lucky as I, and he actually was executed 2.5 years before the proof of our innocence was revealed and I was released.
My God.
And his execution, you actually might have heard of it because he caught fire. His name was Jesse Tefero, and the execution was what they call a botched execution, and the electric chair malfunctioned, and he actually caught fire, and they had to pull the switch 3 times.
Remind us of the name of your book again.
The book is called Stolen Time, and now, since I've been out, I've written a book with another person from Ireland who was wrongly convicted and sentenced to death, who is now my partner, and we live a peaceful life, and we decided to write a book about how one recovers from such an experience. He was released in 1995.
Okay, now look, you better tell us your second name. I wouldn't normally ask you, but if people are going to look for your book.
Okay, well, my name is Sonny Jacobs.
Sonny Jacobs, and the book's called Stolen Time.
And I would like to send my heartfelt condolences, really, and concerns to Kenny Ritchie, because I understand he's been sort of overwhelmed by the media, and I'd like him to know that if I could help him in any way, my partner and I would be happy to do so.
Well, I think that's game, set and match on the old capital punishment debate, don't you?